Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Okay, so we're right in the middle, or not in the middle, we're at the beginning of the full moon in Scorpio energy. That full moon was a super full moon and it was extra potent. I don't know about you, but I certainly feel it or felt it. Am feeling it. And one of the things, it occurred on the 26th, 27th of April, regardless, wherever you are in the world. You would have seen it perhaps and felt it, felt its impact. But its impacts or its effects last for about 2 weeks. So we're still kind of ruminating in that energy. And of course, one of the things that it brought forward with the stellium in Taurus was questions around our self-worth and our self-esteem, and really important guidance around self-care and self-nurturing. Identity questions as well, very, very deep dives around that. And I've been having a series of dreams leading up to this full moon and another last night, seemingly solving a puzzle that I've been thinking about for quite a while now, involving my early childhood. Sometimes it's very hard to recollect what happened, or what were your experiences that formed you in that very early stage of your life. My long-term memories, pardon me, not that good, but I am getting some flashes of memories. So that's indicative of a very deep dive into what forms the foundations of who we are in this lifetime. That is full moon in Scorpio energy. Let me know how that is working for you. Okay, so I've got a few questions that I want to ask today, some political tarot, but first of all, I want to just check in on those energies, those full moon Scorpio energies, at the energies that we're sitting in, the underlying energies that we are feeling at the moment. Let's just check in on that. What are the underlying energies for us to be aware of at this time? That would be helpful for us to realize. Okay, so we have East beginnings. So one of the things that Scorpio, one of the hallmarks, I guess, of Scorpio is it rules the 8th house of death and rebirth, endings and beginnings, having to transform something. And I always say that we are still in that energy of the last 4 years, bringing things to the surface and seeing where the sting is in the tail, so to speak. Some of my questions will get to that toward the end of this reading around the US Census and any potential fiddling that the former administration might have done with that. And also we go to Arizona, where in my mind, some very undemocratic things are happening. So we're still in the middle of that energy. We're still actualizing these new beginnings at a personal level. Again, doing those deep dives can bring forward breakthroughs that actually can finish a karmic cycle and bring you to a new beginning. And that's what we want to do, don't we? We want to jettison the baggage and walk freely toward a dream or a goal or something that's close to our heart, a passion or a project. We want to feel that the energies of new beginnings. Well, this is what's on offer at this time, new beginnings. So we've got fire here in ignition, so number 8. So there are these new beginnings. I think for the collective level as well, one of the big, I guess, events at the moment is what all the tragedies, I guess, is what is happening in India at the moment, with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people dying from COVID, and the world having to acknowledge that to get control of the pandemic, they must assist countries that are in the grip of a pandemic. And of course, the US is providing around 60 million doses of AstraZeneca to India. This was after finding out that in many of the vaccine contracts, Pfizer, Moderna, the former administration had put in a clause that they couldn't donate excess vaccines. So there's the difference between an older regime that failed and a new one coming in. And of course, many have been commenting about the Biden's administration's first 100 days in terms of success. But we still have that underlying energy of bringing things to the surface. And so we still continue, don't we, with our political tarot. So here we have ignition. We have beginnings and ignition. Two very, very positive cards, and that is fire energy. Absolutely stoking that fire. And there's a sense of movement and speed as we move along. If you looked at my last reading on the climate summit, the World Climate Summit, you would have seen plenty of that energy for change. I was actually quite pleased with the cards that came forth. Now we have mystery and dark matter. So again, in the space in between where we have a potentiality for creation, but it's not quite here yet. Dark matter. What is dark matter? It does hold, as I said, incredible energy. But how are we going to? I see 3, 8, 38. So there's something in those numbers. 3 being solutions, creative solutions. Innovation can be creative spiritual solutions as well. 8 being leadership, entrepreneurial. And, you know, in some cultures, 8 is quite lucky. If you turn 8 on the side, you get infinity. So there's no doubt that at this time, the energies are very, very potent for change, for new beginnings. The potential there is incredible, I feel. So at a personal level, depending on what you're doing, what you're working on, what your project or goal is, there's a lot of potential to see it become a reality. So get working, because the conditions are very favourable for success at the moment. What's at the base of the pack? We have the equator. To make equal. To make equal. And really that's why you and I are here on this channel, because we all believe in equality. Okay, there's some good energies there. Change, for good change. All right, let's move to the political tarot and have a look first, I think, at the census. Now, background in that, it was a controversial process. The Commerce Secretary, the previous Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, who was a businessman, was found to be deceptive around the census and was called out. So straight away you have somebody trying to cover something up. So it is fair to say that census has question marks over it. California, I think, lost a number of states. Blue states lost seats. California, for the first time in, a long time, and by something like 89 votes, or 89 people, I should say, not votes. 89 census documents. The power shifted to the red states. Texas gained. So power shifting away from the north to the south, and of course deception around the time frames were. I think they were cut short. And again, it's like the postal. What happened with the slowing the absentee ballots down? I think the deck was stacked in some way. So I want to see, did the Republicans interfere? And I'm just going to call it due process, the census due process, to tip that deck in their favour. That's what I'm hearing. Did the Republicans interfere with due process for the Senate? And I'm getting in any way that they could get away with. And look, I think it's time to realise that these power grabs are often done at the expense of democracy and its legal frameworks, bending them, sometimes even breaking them. So, did the Republicans interfere with the census? Did the Republicans interfere with the census? Now, I'm seeing a New York landscape. The Prince of Pentacles. So we've got, this is a loyal kind of, I'm not going to say, it's not a servant, but somebody who is loyal and reliable and, moves forward. They could have slowed things down because this is the slowest moving knight in the pack. There could have been those that were loyal to the Republican Party. There's something within the actual system where it could have been slowed down. That's my feeling. What's the challenge there? The challenge was endings, the Ten of Swords, complete and utter downfall. So what we see are steps being taken to avoid something, but in the end it backfires. That's what I'm seeing. It backfires on them in some way. Let's keep going. An interesting reading. The Nine of Swords. We've got a lot of anxiety around this. Now we have the 9. Now we have the 10. Who's this anxiety for? The Democratic Party or the Republicans? Seeking to tip things in their favour. The Two of Cups in the past. Contracts, commitments, partnerships. Again, I'm getting the feeling of coming from those that were within. Wilbur Ross would have installed. We saw how they installed people in their departments. Let's keep going. Yeah, temperance and moderation is in the is crowning this reading. So again, balancing things out is the potential here. Did they tip, as I say, tip that balance in their favour? I think there's going to be an investigation of some of those processes. You cannot have a census that is clouded by potential wrongdoing or interference in the process. The Queen of Swords suggests somebody might examine what went on. And it's coming in the immediate future. So there could be an announcement that there could be an audit, for example, of what happened there. The Nine of Pentacles in the here and now. Well, I'm not going to say that money might have changed hands. I'm not going to go that far. But the Nine of Pentacles is big money. And so did big money come into those processes? The King of Pentacles in the environment around. So that's in the here and now. So it has the former administration has come into this reading, into the environment around this question. And the Nine of Pentacles talks about big money, having big money to get what you want. Okay, so the Five of Swords, in the hopes and fears we all fear, that something was not quite right. This is an abuse of power, the Five of Swords. Could be strong-arming as well. Nothing would surprise me. Now, the Two of Pentacles is juggling. It's walking a tightrope and juggling, but it can also be manipulation. That's the outcome card. That's the answer. So I think that there was some kind of interference to somehow stack the deck in the favour. Whether that was slowing it down, and I'm getting New York is where they should be looking to do an audit, because I keep getting that New York landscape. The Four of Pentacles holding back information, walling things off. And the Ace of Pentacles, there's money here that I'm seeing in the outcome cards. Now, at the base of the pack, we've got the Truth coming forward with this Ace of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, about who and what interfered. I'm going to Wilbur Ross is where I'm going, and I've got Justice. There will be a review, I think, if only to restore confidence in the census results. I think that the current administration is going to go back and look at the processes here. So I'm just going to ask, will there be a review of the processes used? And it is in the former Commerce Secretary's department that they need to be looking. And I feel New York is that they should be looking there at the processes in New York. Okay, so I'm not sure how all of that's going to work. It's a city. If it's not New York, it's a major city. Okay, so let's take a look at, will there be a review? Will there be a review of the census? Will there be a review? Will there be a review of the census? So the Queen of Pentacles, that can sometimes be, who would be reviewing that? Would that be within Congress, a Commerce committee? There could be that kind of announcement. And challenged by loss, people not being counted. That's where I feel things, slowing things down, missing people. And the Ten of Cups, which is the voter, but it's also counting. I feel people weren't counted. The Three of Cups, so we've got a coming together to look at this, and the Ten of Wands. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but I think with this Four of Cups, they do have an ace up their sleeve in some way that they can order this kind of review. I don't know what will happen, but I'm just feeling that they will look at this more closely. Now let's go to Arizona. This is another viewer's question. Arizona, where they've hired a private firm that's been connected with, certain conspiracies. It's funded in part by the taxpayer. They're also taking donations for this. So again, mixing the big lie with getting rich off the big lie. This is absolutely a flawed and possibly an illegal process. But, Arizona Republicans are in government. Let's have a look. It will be challenged. Ultimately, it's always challenged in the courts. But let's see. What are they doing? What is this so-called fake audit stitch up? What are they doing? Just show me what they are doing in Arizona. What's fallen out? The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, here she is again. Now this is bringing forward stability, having enough to create stability. Can also be questions around security. They're not letting anybody in to see this audit. Let's have a look. What are they doing? Just show me, please. What are they doing in Arizona with this fake audit? Private audit. Seven of Wands. This is around defense, defending themselves. There will be court battle. This will be taken to court. And what is challenging this is the Ace of Pentacles. So there's money now. They know very well it will be challenged in court, and they are fundraising for legal challenges, and they'll take it all the way. What are they really up to? The Four of Swords, retreat, mortally wounded. So Arizona is sort of like Georgia. It's a an iconic kind of state that changed from red to blue, and they don't like it. They don't like the defeat, so they think they are defending themselves by any means necessary. The Nine of Wands, boundaries, is in the past. So there were multiple audits after the elections. There need to be stronger boundaries, stronger legal boundaries, and ultimately there will be. But they are also, I don't know what percentage of money raised, is Republican, but this is blurring the lines, blurring the boundaries of the law, this action in Arizona, and we have the former guy's fingerprints are all over it. It's almost like, I'm not going to say he ordered it, but he's controlling it. So again, it's still in that kind of energy. Now, the world in the immediate future, we've got major endings and beginnings, old cycles coming to an end and new beginnings being actualized. The Eight of Pentacles, this is also about money. This is the big lie continuing, roping people in and raising funds. So I wonder where that money is going to. The Two of Swords at a crossroads. So literally there needs to be, and I don't know how it's going to work, but the laws need to be strengthened around states doing this. Now we have the Prince of Cups. They are his loyal servants. They are members of the cult. He has his fingerprints over this one. And the Two of Cups. So there are deals to be done. And this is contracts, partnerships, networks, the way that he is doing things. Certainly existed before he came along, but probably got worse. They will be isolated at the end of the day with the Hermit. There will be a review of their actions, and we've got the Queen of Cups. Something will be revealed about the process not being, and I think it's not being legal. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles, they're seeking to discount votes, basically. The Queen of Wands, now you've got Democratic Party will fight this. The Two of Wands, be patient. It will be sorted out in time. And we have healing here. So, and the Six of Wands, they might have to fundraise as well just to keep battling the illegality of what is occurring. So it crosses all the boundaries. It blurs all the lines. It's not legal what they're doing. They are seeking to discount votes. They won't be successful. Okay, now I had a viewer's question, one more. Question about what is the Republican Party's ultimate game, end game? Do they want to gain enough states to convene to have a constitutional convention and change the constitution? Let's just ask, does the Republican Party ultimately want to rewrite the Constitution? Yes, there are some sections where that is indeed what they want to do. It's a long range game. It is an end game in certain sections of the Republican Party. I'm seeing, meetings, clandestine meetings, with, men talking about about this strategy. It might not be widespread, but there are certain sections that are. Does the Republican Party have it in mind to rewrite the Constitution? Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So the full card is they want a new beginning. They don't feel that they've got this under the present Constitution. They want to remake something literally in their image. So again, thinking that they have the status to do that. It's ambitious, but it's also foolish. Because ultimately the demographics are against them. The Nine of Pentacles. There's only so long that they can keep blurring the lines and pushing the boundaries of legality. The Nine of Pentacles. So their big donors are pushing them. So this is the high end of the town that are saying the Constitution's not working. This is money and power speaking at this time. They feel like at the moment they're being hampered. Their freedoms are being taken away from them. The Ten of Swords, what they fear is complete and utter downfall and the ending of things as they knew it. There is this real fear. The Hanged Man, they're not getting anywhere. This is in the past. Their progress has stopped. So they have to do things to get that forward momentum. In the Sky, we have Strength. This is a show of strength. Well, the potential is that there is this, strong action here. I asked, were they considering rewriting the Constitution? I think, yeah. This is literally bringing down the Constitution, the Tower card. It's the path that the Republicans are going on, the GOP are going on, the sections of the GOP, not all of the GOP, they want to burn it all down. And indeed they tried on January the 6th, but the Tower is coming for them in some way. The loss. And I think also this is immigration. People coming, refugees coming as well. That is the one issue that that Biden doesn't do well in the polls on. He's not being seen as strong enough. But we've got people coming together. At the literal meaning of the Five of Pentacles is loss, being left out in the cold, and the environment around is partnerships joining together to get back what they may have lost. Now, the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, is in the hopes and fears, meaning that the truth will emerge ultimately, or they're afraid of the truth, but the hope is that truth will be the North Star, the guiding star. They are working on it. They are ploughing money into it. They've got think tanks, they've got consultants there. They're looking at, this is a map, a political map and strategy that stretches across the entire country. And they're serious about it, very serious. They are putting money into it, funding all these initiatives. And it is to protect big money interest in politics. They will use the little people to get their aims. The Eight of Cups, ultimately, that is where they find themselves. Ultimately, and that is what eventually. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they do. Ultimately, there is a loss in the end game. So the Ten of Pentacles, again, big money. Big money is losing, or are to be seen to be losing. So, a Republican Party will do away with environmental regulations, will allow into big business, lower tax rates for them, etc. This is a game that is well funded. So my answer is yes. At the base of the pack, we have the Hierophant, we have government. Princess of Cups, this surprise, bombshells, this could even emerge. Now, I have the King of Pentacles here, which was my card for the former guy and bringing business to the White House, big money to the big moneyed interests. Things are going to emerge, and I've always said that there will be justice. Ultimately, there's a lot more truth that needs to come out about what has occurred over the last 4 years. My sincere hope is that the hard work will be done to try and turn this around, because this is quite a strong game that they're playing. So yes, it is a power grab, and they will do what they need, what they can, blurring those lines. And most of the time things go unchallenged. Most of the time it's what we don't know. It's what we don't know that is the issue, and all of that has to come to the surface, and that takes work. So the short answer, viewer, to that question is yes. There are some sections of the Republican Party that have that as the end game. But I don't think it's going to succeed, and one of the reasons that it doesn't is by bringing the former guy to justice. So that is where the focus needs to be, to out what has gone on in the past and enact laws that prevent that from happening. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again with another reading soon. Thank you.